Khadijah radiallahu anha, the end of an era. One by one, the number of believers in Mecca was increasing every day, and so was the anger among the Quraysh. The recent event of Umar radiallahu anh converting to Islam was their last straw. It was obvious that things were getting out of hand and they needed to be dealt with, and soon. The solution? To exile Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and his companions from Mecca by launching a social and economic boycott. They did everything to cut off the Muslims from their ties in Mecca, including not allowing believer and unbeliever relatives from speaking to each other, not allowing believers and unbelievers to get married, and more. They were willing to wait out until every Muslim died and with no children to pass off their belief to. Just outside of Mecca, there was a valley by the name of Shib Abi Talib. Here, the exiled Muslims took refuge in a tent to hide from the malice in Mecca. This boycott and their stay in this tent lasted 3 years. 3 years of pain, sickness, and deaths in this very tent. Throughout this entire period, Khadijah radiallahu anha did not leave Prophet Muhammad ﷺ for 1 second. She could have stayed in Mecca as she was still a respected individual for her wealth and family ties, and stayed in her warm bed, safe in her house. However, despite being in her 60s at this point, her belief was so strong that she stayed with Rasulullah ﷺ and the rest of the Muslims and faced the same hunger and thirst they did. The weight on Khadijah's back was large. She not only felt the same sadness everyone else did, but also that of her husband. On top of everything, they both faced loss after loss during this period. Of their 6 children, 2 of their sons passed away as babies in that tent. Then Abu Talib, the uncle of Rasulullah ﷺ, and his father figure for most of his life, passed away as well. On the 3rd day after Abu Talib's death, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ hurried back to their tent. He had just lost his protector, his role model, his second father, and now he was faced with Khadijah's sickness. Once the wealthiest woman in Mecca, she was now grappling between life and death. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ approached her, tears in his eyes, and said, "This is my fault, Khadijah. It's because of me that you were forced to undergo this turmoil and live a life below your stature." Then he added, "Don't forget, surely Allah bestows fortune after every hardship." And so, at the age of 65, 3 years before the Hijrah, Khadijah radiallahu anha left all her worries on this earth and passed away, moving on to her own Hijrah to the other world.
If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next time.